Okay, thank you. Oh, and we're supposed to start at 6:45, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, and I think we're ready. Good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Um, Commissioner Lucio, could you confirm the quorum for the record, please?
Yes, currently present are Commissioner Lockett, Commissioner Washington, Commissioner Lucio, Commissioner McDuffie, and Chairman Edwards.
Okay, so we do have a quorum. Um, Good evening, everyone. Well, let's see. All right, so we'll give some people a little bit more time to get on before I guess I talk about that next item. So I just want to say to everyone, this is a special meeting. I think most of you have received the information about this meeting and what it entails. The primary purpose for the meeting this evening is to sort of get an update from our neighborhood safety committee and to discuss the community response neighborhood plan that I think I saw from the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. Uh, Commissioner Fletcher has prepared a draft with regard to, prepared, completed the form with regard to 5A08. As you know, we started the public safety task force there in 5A08. Also on the agenda tonight, we will get a brief update on the website, and we will discuss a proposed resolution regarding the continuation of hybrid ANC meetings. Those are the three items on the agenda tonight, and those will be the items that we'll be discussing. In addition to that, I did receive a notice from the DC Board of Elections that the vacant position that we have, 5A04, the petition circulation period started for that on June 1st, and it's up June 21st. So I've notified the Catholic University, and Ms. O'Connor has indicated that they've identified a candidate. So both her and that candidate should be on tonight. So I don't see that either of those are here, but by the time we go through a few of these items, we can get an update from them. And I do
Chairman
understand.
Edwards, I'm sorry, Ms. O'Connor is not able to join tonight. She had a family emergency, but there should be someone else on. I don't believe he's on yet from Catholic.
Okay. All right. So did I miss anything?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So then the first item on the agenda, then, if you have it before you, is the hybrid ANC meeting. And Commissioner Lucio, I think I will let you sort of take the lead on this one. I see that a draft was circulated to the commissioners. So Commissioner Lucio, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman Edwards. I think I'm going to share the spotlight on this one with Commissioner Fletcher because he just recently sent around the draft. What I will share with everyone is that today, the Office of OANC sent around an email requesting, for us to provide them with information about the possibility of returning to in-person meetings. And so, and they asked a list of questions. If we're able to, starting off with if we're able to return to our previous location for in-person meetings. And so I reached out to UDC Bacchus, and they have not made a decision yet on their plans for September. So I was not able to go into any further information to get in terms of what the protocols would be if and when they return to in-person. So as of right now, they have not made a decision to go into in-person. So we're not able to use that facility if we decided to go in-person in September, which means that we either need to work with this this petition that's being circulated to continue in hybrid mode, to continue in either full virtual mode, hybrid mode, or to look at a second location. Commissioner Fletcher, do you want to take the floor from here?
Yes, Commissioner Lucio, and good evening, everyone. So, while I'm somebody that's still very sensitive to where we are with COVID-19, I think, again, it's something that's affected all of us. So we have family members or friends, loved ones that have been victims of maybe even died because of COVID-19. So, but however, even up here in the District of Columbia, under the leadership of our mayor, as of June 11th, um, the everything is open, right? The DMV is open. I'm getting, people have gotten tickets, all types of things. So we need to recognize that we have to get back to some sense of normalcy ourselves at the proper time. And I think we cannot forget the fact that we do have a separate second location that's not being utilized, which is the office at the Modern. So I think that we should have, I just want to start the conversation. I'm not saying that we need to support draft a letter or sign on to this letter tonight. I just think that we need to really start seriously being intentional around this conversation, if not by our meeting at the end of this month, then by September, and really think about utilizing our second location for hybrid meetings. If you see the letter, the support letter that I sent out, I believe in, we are leaders, and leaders, do things. We don't wait to do things. We do things that we know are safe and right. And so other ANCs have signed on to this letter of support so far. ANCs in Ward 4, Ward 6, Ward 3, and Ward 2. So I think that's just something to note as we really think about everything in its totality, including that COVID is still not gone. So that's kind of where I'm at this time. Thank you.
If I can just add to that, I think that, while I am all in favor of getting back to some type of meeting in person, I do think we need to recognize the fact that that having virtual meetings is extremely beneficial for our attendance. It makes it much easier for more people to attend who otherwise were not able to get out to an in-person meeting, either due to ill health or mobility issues, or family commitments, who can't come to spend 3 hours away from the house, so between travel time and the time of the meeting. So I think we need to recognize that we are in a stage where we're probably going to have to move to a hybrid model to allow those people to attend. And also, as Commissioner Fletcher said, for anybody who is ill and not able to attend the meeting, who would like to offer them the ability to attend as well. One of the things I do want to mention is, if we are going to move to a hybrid style meeting, we also need to keep in mind that our meetings need to be accessible for people with disabilities. Therefore, if people need a captioning or documents in alternative formats, we do need to be able to continue to provide that as an option if we do continue virtual meetings.
All right. Yeah, and I don't want this conversation to get too far off track. I mean, what I want to do is look at the issue at hand, and that is what Commissioner Lucio talked about, the fact that these, as of a certain time, I think it was July something in the letter, in the email, we will revert back to not being able to have these meetings online like this, not to be able to host official meetings online like this. And as Commissioner Lucio indicated, this has proven to be a positive benefit for our community. And so we want to support a resolution, or at least talk about a potential resolution, to urge the council to allow for the continuation of some type of virtual meetings, where that we can make sure we continue to give our citizens access, those who cannot come to the meetings. So that is primarily, I think, the purpose of this meeting tonight. I know we have several other offices, and this meeting tonight is not to talk about how many offices we have or anything like that, but just to talk about the fact that this use here that we're doing right now, that allows the public to be able to attend, will no longer be allowed. And so we want to get on board with urging the council at this point to consider some legislation to extend this type of arrangement.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. While You know, I'm always supportive of your leadership and how you and everything. But as I'm looking at the agenda, the first item is about hybrid ANC meetings, right? So that to me sounds somewhat different than what you just stated.
All right, well, no, I think, well, that may
You
be
know what I'm saying?
somewhat
Let's be clear.
different from what I stated, but that was the intent of
Okay.
my sort of having this on the agenda tonight, to talk
Okay.
about a process for making sure that after these virtual meetings end, you know, or before they end, that we support some kind of activity to urge the council to be able to continue that process. Um, uh, Commissioner Lucio, there's Herman Preston is saying that he was trying to log in. I don't know if he had the link, if he had the right link or not, but I don't know, could you send him a link, you know, so he can sign in? Sounds like there is a problem with him getting in.
I can do that.
So commissioners, that's the way I kind of wanted to approach this. And then we have time otherwise to talk about the use of virtual space or another office and all that. But to support this general, the consensus of the other ANCs, as Commissioner Lucio has talked about, to be able to continue, you know, this process in some kind of a way. And I think as we continue to work with the council, we can figure out exactly what that process looks like, and they can figure out what that would look like going forward. But it would, in my mind, really be a disservice to the community after having had this service and we see that it work, you know, for us to be able to discontinue that service. And so I want us to, and so the resolution that the ANCs have sort of increased, have been circulating and supporting is along those lines. And I'm in favor of supporting a resolution somewhat similar to that. I wanted to hear from the commissioners, you know, how you feel about that.
I like to say something.
Yes.
First of all, I do support, you know, us continuing with the virtual. My concern is that we have ANC commissioners, and Emily, you were part of that, Commissioner Lucio, you were part of that group, that are circulating not only just this type of resolution, but all types of resolutions. And I don't want us to get into a position that we have 25 or 30 ANCs making decisions for 334 ANCs. I know there's that group of ANCs that come together from Ward 6 and 1 and 2 and 5. And I've been on a few of their calls. I don't continuously support everything that they do and everything that they say. And they don't represent all of the ANCs. And I don't want for any reason to think that Commissioner Lucio, because you're part of that group, that you're representing ANC 5A. You can represent your single member district, but not ANC 5A as a whole. So for me, I know they do this. I get the emails all the time. I would support us as an ANC ourselves to put something together that we submit from ANC 5A. It doesn't have to be a part of a larger group, because I don't know how many ANCs are supporting it. You know, that's my concern. I don't know how many ANCs are involved in that particular group. And from the information that I get, and, you know, the group has been down to see the council, Robert White asking for different things. You know, I don't know if every ANC in this that's represented in the city knows about all of that. So those are my concerns as it relates to always presenting something that comes from the group that meets on Mondays.
Commissioner Washington, just to clarify, this did not come from that group.
I don't.
The group has been, that group has been having separate conversations about similar issues, but this particular document did not come from that group.
So where did it come from?
Another ANC that wanted to share it and say that we are in support of this and we are looking to get other people to sign on to it. It did not come from that group.
So does that person from that group as a part
No,
of that group?
no, that person does not regularly attend those meetings.
Okay. All right.
One thing.
So commissioners, what I would like to do is I think if we understand the general sentiment,
Yeah.
the fact that this process is nearing an end, unless the council takes some action, it will end. And my position is, you know, to the extent that we see this as being an important tool for us, I want to support what Commissioner Lucio has said, and that we draft our own resolution when they look at some of these others that have been out there, but that we send and signal our support for you know, continuing this based on our experience. And
Right.
if we get the direct you know, consensus on moving forward in that direction, then we will take this draft that has been presented. We can look at any other documents that may be out there that is related to it, and then we can finalize, you know, our resolution, you know, between now and the next meeting. And if we have it done before then, we can go ahead and send it. But if not, we can finalize it at the June 23rd meeting. So that's kind of the way, I see us moving here.
I agree.
I would agree.
I agree.
I'm in agreement.
As
Same
long
here.
as long as we all together agree, that's what I'm agreeing on. And I think that's what the chairman is trying to put out there, making sure that each and every one of us have that vote or input into what we're going to do as 5A.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
and
are
I
we
think that
in agreement with that process? Can we do that by common consent, or I entertain a motion to that regard?
I'm okay with common consent. I would
I'm
like to,
okay with common consent.
I just would like to add that I think that as a general rule of thumb, in response to Commissioner Washington, I think that, you know, us as an ANC, while our issues may be different than other ANCs in other parts of the city, there are some things that overlap and there are some things that are similar. And so we can always use things that other ANCs are doing as a model and then build off of them based on what's appropriate in our ANC. And I think that's all we're always looking to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I would support that statement, and just know, yeah, Commissioner Washington, and I definitely understand what you're saying too, that, you know, our ANC is different from others and theirs are different from, you know, us and whatnot. And so we have to respect that, but it's just to start the conversation sometimes, not for us just to slap our ANC 5A name on it, or Ronnie, or I'm sorry, Chairman Edwards sign it off on it, just to start the conversation. Yeah, that's about it.
My intent is not to say that we're different. I'm just saying that we have 334 ANCs in this city. And I don't want a small group representing or thinking they represent us.
Yes.
They
We're
don't.
all individual ANC commissioners that were elected. That's what I'm saying.
And
Yep.
they don't. Commissioner Washington, I can tell you
Lucio,
that absolutely does not happen in those meetings. Absolutely does not.
And if I can hop in real quick, I actually have started jumping on those Monday meetings, Commissioner Washington. So I just went back to look at the email. The email did come from, I believe, 4B. And to Commissioner Washington's point, I think it would be helpful for us to think of a way that information could be shared with all commissioners, because sometimes I notice that there is information that's shared with the commissioners in the Monday meetings that we may discuss, but then there's separate emails that may go out from other commissioners, and the other commissioners have no control over who sends those emails out, like in this instance. So I think it would be helpful for us to think of a way and communicate to let, you know, all the commissioners know when it pertains to all the commissioners, they need to make sure that that information reaches everyone.
Exactly.
So I understand Commissioner Washington's point, and to Commissioner Lucio's point, you know, this didn't come from that meeting. I don't really know, you know, just came out the blue, and it was an email shared to commissioners. So, but we can definitely discuss that later.
Right.
All right. So yeah, I mean, it is a common issue that transcends all 400 and some ANCs that we have. And so we're going to get all kind of ideas and suggestions from others, and we can take that, as has been indicated, to sort of build on ours. This has been a very interesting conversation, but we have agreed, it seems, on common consent to move forward with drafting a resolution that expresses our concerns related to the ability to be able to continue having these type virtual meetings in some form or fashion. We'll start getting that drafted. We'll get that circulated to you all. hopefully we can get it finalized before the June 23rd meeting, but if not, we will definitely bring it back to the table on June 23rd for a final vote.
Chairman
right.
Edwards, I do want to say that Ms. O'Connor is on the call, and also the guest she had mentioned is also here. If you want to take a minute to introduce them or not.
All right. So, commissioners, if I could, what I'd like to do at this point, then, as I indicated earlier, I had sent the notice to Ms. O'Connor, and Ms. O'Connor responded rather swiftly in terms of it, and I am very delighted tonight that she seems to have identified a potential candidate for that position. Ms. O'Connor, you have the floor. Is she having technical issues? Sounds like she may be having technical issues, but I think I'm looking at Michael Witzak, and I believe Michael Witzak is the candidate. And so what I'd like to do is to go ahead and have him introduce himself, and then maybe by the time he gets finished speaking, Ms. O'Connor may have her technical issues resolved. But Mr. Witzak,
and I believe it's Father Witzak. Is that correct?
Right. Right.
Father Witzak. Okay. So I did pronounce the last name right, just didn't get the title. Okay. All right, sir, you have the floor.
Well, hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I am a 14-year resident of the district. I've been on the faculty at Catholic University, and I live right here on the grounds of Catholic University. I know in the past that students have oftentimes represented this community of people, but at this point, someone with a little bit of gray hair has been invited to present himself for membership in the ANC. I am so I'm a member of the faculty. I teach theology at Catholic University, and I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I'm happy to be here and to hear. I mean, even in the few minutes that I've been here, I've heard a bunch of people who obviously love being in this part of DC, expressing themselves about the way that things happen here, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity of being a member of the group.
All right, so yes, welcome. So now you have you got the notice, and obviously you've gone to the board and picked up your petitions. What is how are they allowing you to do that now? Is that a virtual process, or are you having to circulate to get the 25 signatures?
I actually haven't heard yet. I'm in the process of getting this stuff, the final part of this all organized. So hopefully by the 23rd I'll be set.
Okay, just make sure by the 23rd you have your whatever that required number of signatures. It's the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure you don't miss that. You have to get those in by the 21st to the Board of Elections. Under normal circumstances, you would need 25 signatures. I'm not sure how many you need now during this virtual, during this pandemic phase.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard back from the board yet, so I'll do what they say and get it done by the time that I need to.
Thank you, Father. And so if you have any issues or anything like that, with the board, just make sure you reach out to me and let me know so that I can help you to reach them if you're having a problem.
I'll do that. Thanks.
But we're really excited and we're looking forward to you being here. It looks like this thing closes on the 21st.
Yes.
And if that is the case, you may be able to sit as a commissioner at our June 23rd meeting. So we'll just see how it plays out.
Good. All right.
Well, first of all,
I'll do the best I can.
You don't have any competition. I mean, you may have some competition.
Yeah. We know we'll always be blessed.
All right. I guess Ms. O'Connor was not able to join us, but I do understand that she has is having a family emergency and some other things. And so, Ms. O'Connor, if you can hear us, our prayers are with you. And if there's anything that we can do, don't hesitate to let us know. All right, the next item on the agenda is a brief update on our website. We, as you all know, back before the pandemic kind of got started, and in the middle of that, we started talking about transitioning websites, and we gave a update a couple of months ago. And since we're here tonight, we just wanted to give you further updates. I think we're getting closer to a time when this will be, we'll have our new website. So Commissioner Lucio, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman Edwards. Let me pull this up. I've shared this with all the commissioners. There's been a few updates since I last shared it with you, but if you've looked at it within the last 48 hours, you've seen the updates. I'm going to just share my screen, and I'm just going to do a quick overview of it. Let me just also say that this is a work in progress. The pictures that are on here are just random pictures. We sent them about 50 or 60 pictures, and so we certainly can change those. That's not a big issue. What I want to focus on tonight is more the substance. So this is the front page. It talks a little bit about the ANC. It'll always say the next meeting. And as you can see, there's a picture of Catholic. We can always change that. We created an ANC email address. It's got our main mailing address on there. And then under the about section, there's history, commissioners, bylaws, and FAQs. I want to focus on the commissioners page for a second. So each commissioner has sent me a picture. So Father Witzik, if you are sworn in, I will need to get a picture from you. But we did something unique that I haven't had a chance to tell you commissioners about that I think is actually going to be very helpful. I think actually I asked a couple of you if you thought this was a good idea. As you see, each commissioner has their picture, their name, their email address, and then if you go under View Commissioner, I'm just going to do mine, for example. I don't know if it says anything, but if you go under View Commissioner, each commissioner has their own website. So if I have an SMD meeting, I can post it on here. If there's something specific I want to post for my single member district, I can post it here. If somebody wants to reach me, they can put their name and email and information about it and then post a comment about it or whatever, and send me something if they want to reach me. But each commissioner will have their own page to post their meetings and information about what's going on in their single member district and projects that they're working on. As you see at the top of the page, it does say about the ANC. Then there's the bylaws, and then commissioners, I have asked all of you to share with me things you think should go under the frequently asked questions section. That's the one thing I still need to get to them. I know one or two of you have sent me a couple questions, but I'm looking to get some more questions and so that we can collectively have those. Then in the documents, we'll have the agendas, the meeting minutes, the presentations, and the quarterly financial reports and budgets and the resolutions. We will also have the videos, whatever we recorded. We are working on how to best do that. What we're likely going to do is create a private YouTube link so it doesn't eat up storage space on the website, and then we'll post the link to that. This is the let me go under this page, under the meetings page. This would list also the next meeting dates. It's sort of repetitive. And then also if your single member district is having a meeting, it would list those dates as well. And then resources, we've got a section for the grant applications. And then for DC administrative websites, we did it a little different than we've done in the past. We have some of the main DC administrative offices that people are looking to reach, and it links right to those pages. And then we put in some of the community organizations. So North Michigan Park Civic Association, North Michigan Park Citizens Association, Lamont Rig Citizens Association. And so we would put their meeting information in there as well. And then important city contacts. We've got 911, 311, ABRA, Ward 5 Council Office, the Mayor's Office on Community Relations, DC Hypothermia Hotline, and then other resources. So we've got the DC 4th District Community Police Group. If people want to know how to join that, they can do that as well. I'm trying to think. And then for people who want to contact us, there's a contact page, and it will go to the commissioner who it's addressed to. This one will go to a general mailbox, but people can also obviously reach out to general commissioners, and it would go to their email address. So that's a basic overview. I'm just trying to think if I missed anything else. That's a basic overview. So I think, I mean, obviously it's a work in progress. We've still got some things that we need to add, but I wanted to share with you what we have so far.
What about the request to present? I saw that on there.
Yep, that's on there as well. There is a request to present. Trying to think where that was. I think that's under meetings, right?
I saw it come up, but I think you went by it now.
I know it's on here.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the heading.
There it is. Under contact, there's a
Yeah,
request to
okay,
present. So
mhm.
people, thank you, Commissioner Washington, for mentioning that. So if people want to present, they can submit their information about what they want to present. We ask them to include a description of what they're presenting about, and how it would benefit the community, and then they submit that, and then that would come to me to review. And then one of the things we put on here is that important details to know is tell us what you plan to talk about. Will you require any action from the ANC? Will it require a resolution, a letter, or anything like that? Have you presented to the single member district before coming to the ANC if necessary? And how much time do you need for your presentation? So those are some of the things we ask them. I need to fix this language. Have you presented to this to the SMD? I'll have to fix that so it's a little more specific, but that's just a general overview of the website. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So it's open to comment.
Just want to say great job. I know we probably need to incorporate some more pictures. I think that represents all of ANC 5A.
So I'm sorry, Commissioner Fletcher, I forgot to mention one thing in regard to that. So I sent everybody a link to the folder that has all of the 50, 60 pictures that were taken.
Okay.
So that everybody can have a chance to look at those pictures and tell me if there's specific ones you want. I did go around to every single member district.
Okay.
So I understand that they're not accurately represented on the pages right now, and I'm working with them on that. So what it would be helpful to me is if people could look at that link that I sent everybody and review those pictures and tell me if there are specific ones you want or don't want.
Okay.
One question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Commissioner Lockett.
I noticed when you put up North Michigan Park Civic Association, then you had North Michigan Park Citizen Association.
They're different. They're Michigan Park Citizens Association and North Michigan Park Citizens Civic Association. There's two different organizations.
And who are they?
Well, the North Michigan Park Citizens Civic Association is the one that meets at North Michigan Park Rec Center that
Right.
you're involved in. The Michigan Park Citizens Association meets over at Turkey Thicket, but it represents the other side of my single member district.
Okay.
So Commissioner Lucio, I need to send you the Fort Totten Civic Association information and the One Hawaii Tenant Association information.
That would be great. I'd appreciate that.
And I just really quick, again, Commissioner Lucio, thank you for your work on the website. I think it looks great, and it's very user-friendly, as I stated to you before. And I did take a look at all the pictures. They were great pictures. I didn't know you wanted us to send you a couple out of there, but I will do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
I haven't
so
seen the link.
go ahead. Was somebody saying something?
I was just saying, I haven't seen the link. I may have missed it. If you can send it again to me, or someone can, you can tell me when you sent it, I can go try to find it in my emails.
Yeah, I sent it, Commissioner Washington, I sent it right after you sent that email asking about that, or you either, I think it was either a text message or an email, so it was around, within the last few days.
Okay,
But I can search for it and find it again.
okay, I'm going to it. I'll look. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner. So this is your opportunity now that you see the progress that is being made to make sure that if you have ideas or suggestions that you want to share with Commissioner Lucio and the web site committee, you do that between now and going forward so that we can make sure that the ANC, once it is finished, is reflective of all of 5A.
Right.
Again, Commissioner Lucio, thank you very much, and the team for what you've done so far, and we look forward to you continuing to work on this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I apologize that I did not talk to everybody about the possibility of each of us having our own site. Obviously, some may use that more than others, but I thought that that might be helpful. And each commissioner will be able to edit their own page, that single page. So you don't need to go through me to put stuff on your SMD page.
And Commissioner Lucy, I actually do like that feature, but when someone reaches out to contact us on our page, will that email will go directly to us, so we don't have to monitor.
Correct.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So if I don't hear any more comments, community, if you have some ideas, please remember to reach out to Commissioner Lucio or myself and just sort of let us know if you see something that or that's not there that you think would be useful for the community. Again, we do want to make sure that this is a very user-friendly website, and it is beneficial to the residents as well as the commission. So again, I want to thank you for that, and we're going to move on.
And one other thing, just a reminder to commissioners, if you can send me stuff for the Q&A section for the FAQ, I would appreciate getting some questions, just general things that you think we get asked repeatedly about processes, about things in the city, about the meetings, about whatever that you think would be helpful for people to be able to have right available on the website. So if you could send me those, and it'd be helpful if you can send me not only the question, but the answer.
Now, and on that note, commissioners, we will end the discussion on that. I want to, as I look around, I see a couple of faces here that, on a special meeting we normally wouldn't expect, but at least in this meeting, I'm seeing Captain Shout from MPD. And so, Lieutenant Shout, you have anything for us today? I see you look like you got some guests with you. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here today. I believe I am Lieutenant Shout, my new boss. I believe should have gotten on the line, Captain Kentish, and the midnight.
Yep,
Go ahead, Captain.
We
Hey,
can't see him.
how's everybody? I'm Captain Kevin Kentish. I just recently got promoted and sent to 4D. Sorry, I'm unable to turn my camera on. I found out about this meeting a little late, and I had some other plans, but I just wanted to make sure I got on here to introduce myself and hear what you guys had to say. Also with me is Lieutenant Suku. I allowed him to give his spiel, and then you can ask whatever questions you need to.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Lieutenant Suku, myself newly promoted, but I have been, I started off as an officer in 4D, spent about 7 years in 4D, left out, and I'm the Midnight Sector 2 Lieutenant, says 447.
Okay. I know I saw all these lieutenants and captains and all kind of things showing up on my screen. I said, I know the police department must have something special, and we really do appreciate you guys being here tonight. Captain Kentish, we look forward to working with you and Lieutenant Suku going forward. And hopefully next time when you all come, we are a people-friendly group. So, and I know on short notice you all didn't know tonight, but we kind of like to see faces too. Lieutenant Suku got a good picture up there, but we are a police-friendly neighborhood. We like our police, so we look forward to working with you guys. You all, Lieutenant Shout, you all have anything to say in closing?
The only thing I want to say is, again, anybody who's interested, if they Google DC Crime Camera Program, it's a great asset to the Metropolitan Police Department. And again, please don't leave anything unattended in your vehicles, because we're starting to see a rise in theft from vehicles crimes again. Other than that, I believe Derek has already posted our email addresses. And I know Commissioner Lucio also has it. So if you have any questions, feel free to email us.
Okay. Thanks again. And like I said, we look forward to working with you guys. Now, you know, we have our next meeting in June, and then we don't meet in July and August. And then we will have our first meeting after September. So we're looking forward to an exciting meeting on June 23rd. Before I move to the next item on the agenda, I see that we also have one of our former commissioners, and he was having a problem getting on. And so I figure he must have something special for us tonight. If not, I just want to take the opportunity to introduce him and have him say hello. Commissioner Preston, you have the floor.
Well, good evening, one and all. Thanks, Commissioner Elwood. I had to phone in to him to find out what the link was. It's great seeing everybody. I'm no longer working that much. I'm semi-retired. I still go to work every day, but from here. But Father, glad to have you on board with us. Looking forward. For years, when I was on the board, we always had a problem with your area, and I'm glad to see you on board with everybody else. So that's what I got. Hello, Sandy and Gordon and cousin.
All right. Thank you, Rip. We call him Rip. That's our main in Ward 5. All right, so now we are going to continue with the agenda, and I think the last item that we have, official item on the agenda for tonight, is an update from ANC from 5808 on the public safety plan. Commissioner Fletcher, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll be brief. So the last ANC meeting, I presented I'm not sure, Commissioner Lucio, if you can put it up. But it is.
I can just give you screen sharing privileges. That's easier.
Okay, that works. So hold on 1 second, please. Just pull this up.
You can do it in the morning.
I have two screens here, so just please bear with me a couple more seconds. Okay. Okay. So as you all know, or as many of you know, I've been working, myself and other commissioners, such as Commissioner McDuffie, has been working with the ONE's office. And so as of recently, with the chair of 5808 task force, Robert Oliver, we've been working specifically with Ms. Pickney on the community response neighborhood plan. The idea here is just to put down some information around the culture any recent crime, conflicts, some of the community strengths, concerns. As you see here, as I continue to go down, community goals, recent community efforts, district government response, and key people, places. And so we're going through the second draft of this in ANC 5808. This is something that's going to be disseminated to various residents to make sure it encompasses as much community input as possible. So it's not just any one or two people speaking to something that represents an entire body of people. And and another thing about this is just a way to not just to kind of also keep a history, keep a record of what's going on in your SMD. And then this information is then sent to the onesie office, and then they determine whether or not your neighborhood is eligible for increased services, public safety services. And so this is the first step in that. And so, I thought that this is a good tool that we could all use if we so choose. Again, no one is required to do this, but I believe if we all, the more ANCs, more SMDs that do submit and complete this document, we could then present this or use this as the foundation basis when we speak to MPD, the one's office, OAG, DDOT, in various other agencies. And so it would give us more of a comprehensive look at not just our ANC SMDs, but ANC as a whole in the eyes of the various public government agencies. So I know that this meeting was really about determining how we would use this as a whole. You're seeing how we're using it in ANC 5808. So Mr. Chair and commissioners, that's kind of where I'm at. And so I'm open to other comments as we figure out how we want to move forward together, because again, we're going to have our second public safety meeting June 30th. That's a tentative date right now, and I'm working on securing all the panelists that we had last time, in addition to some more. So that's where I'm at, and open up for any comments and questions or discussion.
And before we do that, I just want to piggyback on what Commissioner Fletcher said, because he closed out on the end with what I thought and what we talked about as being the main purpose for this meeting, and that is to let everyone know that he was planning this big forum again on the 30th, and we wanted to make sure that we brought all of the commissioners together, in this meeting, so that we can talk about, planning that forum so that it will be hopefully a forum that is inclusive of all of the SMDs in 5A, where you have the opportunity to sort of focus on issues in your particular SMD, while we have those panelists that Commissioner Fletcher is talking about on the telephone, at the meeting. And so we wanted to make sure that you got advance notice of that, and that you begin. I've had a couple of conversations with some of the commissioners about problems that you're having. And so we know that there are problems in the area, and we want to make sure that this event that we're having on 30th is a step up from the one that we had initially, where we began to get a little bit more focused on issues. I know that we just had in Ward 5, luckily for us, the last two incidents of violence were not in our neighborhood. I think they were pretty much down on North Capitol Street, further probably in 5E area. But we know that public safety is a major issue and a major concern. Commissioner Fletcher, in terms of his SMD, has taken the lead to sort of put in place a mechanism for us to sort of coordinate our activities and to make sure that we bring to the forefront those issues that we need to be working together and with the police department and with various other entities to bring about some greater sense of civility throughout the city. And so I just want to make sure that you know.
Well, yeah, Miss. Now I will say this, Mr. Chair. Now at the last meeting, our general body meeting, I presented this plan, and we said, let's not talk about it there. Let's talk about it at a special meeting. And so that's why I brought this up tonight. And I
That's
do
right.
believe, yeah, so I do believe that it's important that, in my opinion, that not even important, I think it'll be beneficial if the more of us have information on this document, we could present this and use this as a basis for discussion on June 30th. I want to be clear about that.
That's yeah, that's fair. That's right. And it is, as you say, it is what prompted the discussion for regarding the need to have a special meeting. But again, what I want to do is not only complete this form, but again, I want to get all of our SMDs actively engaged in this public
Agreed.
safety activity to the
Absolutely.
extent that you know, you have issues. Now everybody don't have issues maybe, and so you may not want to be involved, but to the extent
If you don't got issues, let me know what you're doing. Let me know.
we you know, to the extent that you do, we want to use this as we want to use this as a tool to highlight that and to bring the visibility to these issues so that we can work together in unison to try to address some of these issues.
I think the last time, Commissioner Fletcher, we at the end of the meeting, you talked about the form, and I thought I said maybe we could, each SMD should fill out that form.
Right.
And then we can kind of group it. So I don't
That's
have
what
it.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Right.
and I just forwarded the blank copy to everyone.
Okay, that's great. And then we should get it together. Yeah.
I just want to make sure everyone's clear on this. He did forward it, but it's under the heading for the next meeting so that people don't get confused.
Oh, sorry about that, Commissioner Luce. That's what you meant. Okay, I was okay. Got you.
So he did it attached to the minutes, to the agenda and notice about the next meeting.
Well, no, hold on. You are right, but then I sent another email where I just forwarded it.
It's just for a new one,
Yeah.
separate one.
Separately.
Okay.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay, great.
That's a blank one.
Okay. What's the drop dead date that you want us to return this back to you?
I mean, if we could just get it back, I would say by Monday, June 28th, right?
Okay.
That gives a couple days before. And again, if we do this, we now put more onus on our government agencies to help us. That's what I think.
Yeah. So is that going to be enough time for you to compile all that information together if there are duplicated types of
Well,
issues?
if you could turn it in earlier, that would be great, but I want to be cognizant of everyone's schedule and time. If I can get it by 5 p.m. Close of business Monday, that gives me 2 whole days to review and be ready. Yeah. You know, and again, let me be clear too. I'm going to review and compile, but then we're going to have each commissioner talk about their respective SMD. It's not going to be me talking about everyone's. I'm not going to talk. Yeah.
I got you.
Any further discussion on this this plan?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Commissioner Fletcher, I want to thank you for bringing this to the forefront for us. And
Commissioner Evans, if I can add something real quick, and I wasn't kind of sure how to express this because I don't want to. Onesie's office was extremely helpful with the walkthrough and the neighborhood plan. Commissioner Fletcher, I'm going to forward you the response that I just recently received from the Onesie's office to my neighborhood plan, and I will also share with you the neighborhood plan. I'll be honest, I wasn't as impressed with the response as I hoped. I didn't have big expectations because I knew my SMD did not fall within one of their whatever hotspots. You know how they identify a neighborhood hotspot for resources and things like that, right? But and again, it's not to badmouth Onesie or Mrs. McDaniel, Mrs. Pinckney, because they've been extremely helpful. But I had to ask for an updated response because it just wasn't as really formal. It wasn't as detailed as I hope. And to be honest with you, I was afraid to even share it with my to the residents before because again, I thought I'd expected more from what I laid out. So I'm going to share that with you and have a conversation with you, and then hopefully we can get a better response when we put all of ours together.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of understand where you're coming from, Commissioner McDuffie, because they're looking at things that are really tragic that happen in those type of communities. And we have things going on, but they're not escalated to what they are in other.
That's correct.
And other ANCs. And they're going to give more credence to that than they will to us.
That's correct.
Because, yeah.
And then the concerns that we do have that are escalated that maybe involve Department of Transportation or other city services isn't going to be recognized by the Onesies office in a neighborhood report. So it kind of gets lost in that report.
Right. Okay.
So again, I didn't want to badmouth Onesie because they've been great, but we can always talk about that, Commissioner Fletcher and other commissioners.
Okay.
So we can get a better product.
That makes sense. Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for sharing that. And we could find the most productive way to address this to them directly, when they come to our meeting on the 30th. Right. What's up with that, type of thing. So
because the residents, if we show them we're submitting a neighborhood plan and you saw just how detailed yours was, they're going to have an expectation with a response that it's going to be, the same in force, so.
Right.
And I just didn't get that. But again, we can talk about that because I don't want, Ms. Pinckney or Ms. McDaniels to think I didn't appreciate their assistance.
Right.
I'm sure they're only following DC government protocol.
They are. And they're very, nice about it. But I said, can I get a little bit more than this? So
hey.
They expect, I think they've come to expect that from ANC 5A. I mean,
we have to present this information to our residents. So
that's right.
And maybe in doing so, presented to the residents get more engaged, and can put a more fire to what we need because they're not happy. We're representing them, and this is the feedback we get. Now we want you to see what we're getting.
That's right. Okay. That's exactly it, Commissioner Washington.
And so along those lines, and we talk about our residents, we have some faithful servants that kind of always work with us, and they're always there. Mr. Oliver is one of those individuals, and he was not at our last meeting. And I do know, and you all know, that they are moving ahead substantially over there on South Dakota Avenue with Lamont Riggs Library. And I did get an email from Mr. Oliver earlier today about the interim opening of the interim library. So Mr. Oliver, I want to give you an opportunity to say anything that you might want to say.
Yeah, thank you. First thing I'd like to say is that going back to ones for a couple seconds, I think that they're spot on in that they're used to an area that has had long-term and chronic problems, which we don't seem to have. So I think that a lot of their responses may not be what we anticipate. But one of the good things they have in the document is that they do ask the question, what city services have you requested and have they been provided so far? If they can give us help in that, that would be great because we had been asking for wraparound services for a problem in our 5A. And at the time,
Mr. Oliver, your phone is fading in and out, sir.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry. We had chronic problems and we couldn't get it addressed because of the pandemic. But now that that is waning, we can basically go forward and work through Onesie to get those things done. So while they may not give us everything we want, there are things that they are useful for, and we can use them as a conduit to get certain long-standing issues that were postponed due to the pandemic done. In terms of the library, I just want to say that everything is going well. I don't have my information in front of me, but I believe on the 28th, the interim will open. I had provided the information. It's going to be at 395 Ingraham Street, which is right inside the Modern. It's just 1 or 2 doors up from Ramda's Pharmacy. It is going to be small. I sent a floor plan, but basically there will be 5 staff there to help everyone when it opens. In terms of COVID protocols, everyone is required to wear a mask. Everyone will have hand sanitizer, and basically they will allow computer access, provide books for those who wish to browse the small collection there, and also anyone who wants to pick up books on hold or receive computer printouts, that will be available. The larger Lamont Riggs Library will hopefully be completed by spring of 2020. And that depends a lot on how fast they can get the steel frame up and the exterior of the building done. But so far, everything is looking good. Just to let you know, there has been a slight increase in the cost of the building due to the fact that the price of wood, for those who've been going to Home Depot lately, the price of wood and steel have jumped. And this is because due to the pandemic, there was a work slowdown, or I should say a production slowdown. Now that construction is coming back, the construction needs are outstripping the production needs, and is causing a what you call a inflationary bubble, which will subside as soon as production catches up with the needs of the construction. But for us to avoid that, the only way to do so is a halt construction, which we can't do, which DCPL can't do or shouldn't do. So they just have to pay the price difference, so that the cost of Lamont Riggs Library has gone up, I guess, about, I want to take a stab at least a couple $100,000, somewhere along those lines. But that's basically it. I sent a notice to everyone about the stakeholders, such as yourself, about the changes. And if there are any questions in addition to this meeting, by all means, send them back to me via the website, Lamont Riggs Library Friends 2017 at gmail.com. If you have any questions now, I'd like to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver. You always have a lot of good information to share with us. I don't see anybody that look like they have any questions for you. I do see in the audience, Uchenna. Uchenna, you got anything you want to say to us before we go? This is a special meeting, and we are almost finished with all of our business. And so I'm looking, do you have anything you'd like to say, Uchenna?
Taylor, yes. I think I misspoke on a date, and I meant spring 2022.
That's right. I was intending to say something to you about it because you said spring 2020. Okay, so it looks like your channel does not have anything. Deborah, you good?
I'm good.
All right. I didn't see Savannah is the only other name I see. Who is Savannah? Okay, Savannah looks like she don't have anything. Commissioners, you all have any other business?
Well, I don't have any other business, but I want to go back to the website just to discuss with Emily about the pictures, and I did get them and look at them. Can we talk offline about it? I don't know if anybody else is concerned, but I'm thinking some of the pictures there are in Ward 4, and we can't include Ward 4 in Ward 5.
Nothing from those pictures is in Ward 4.
Well, Riggs LaSalle Community Center is in Ward 4.
I thought, well, but okay, we can talk.
That is not Ward 5.
Okay, we can talk about it offline. I don't want to waste time here on the pictures, but yeah. I've asked you guys repeatedly to send me pictures if you have stuff. So I mean, we're not wedded to those pictures. But
I'll go out and take some. I'll go get some.
The reason I put that in there was because that serves one of the other commissioners' communities, but yeah, it's fine.
It's a borderline for my commission.
Right. It's a borderline for Commissioner McDuffie's. So that's why I put it in there.
Okay. We're gonna fix that when the redistricting comes. We'll take all that.
That's interesting.
But,
Yeah.
I mean,
Sound like trouble.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't excluding the Lamont Riggs group because part of it does, border 4 and 5. So I just wanted to make sure we were being inclusive of that.
It's just unfortunate that we don't have the library to put in there because that's like a landmark,
Yeah, I would definitely add the library when that's finished. But Commissioner Washington, I'm happy to talk about the pictures also.
Okay, no problem.
Use a rendering of the library.
Yeah, could do that.
We could do that.
We could do that. Yeah.
But hey, look, Commissioner Washington, I think we need to be looking out for Ward 4 because I think they're gonna be trying to expand in some areas in our area. So we gotta watch it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we gotta watch it.
Yeah, I'm on the positive side of that.
Any other business? All right, this meeting.
I got a question.
Wait a minute, Preston has a question.
Okay.
Have anybody heard or have they said anything about the redistricting?
That's what we were talking about. I have not heard anything formally about it. I know that the council, I think, has had at least one meeting regarding it, but I have not heard anything about the planned schedule or anything like that and some of the things that I heard them talking about, the council members, I had some concerns about because it looked like to me from one of the council members that there was some discussion as a part of that meeting where they were talking about ANCs not being involved in the process. There is at least, there was at least a couple of council members who raised that as a possibility. So we got to watch out for that.
Yes, we do. We definitely do.
Yeah.
Well, you normally have ANCs and
civic association
involvement with that process.
I mean, yeah, the community got to be involved, and the ANCs need to be involved, and
definitely.
So keep your ears open because I have heard some comments along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And definitely the ANC input.
Yeah, I served on the last one, so that's why I was asking.
I did too.
I know most of us.
All of us did. Yes.
Did.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
One question and you're right. You're right, Uchenna. It is, but I heard this from Gottlieb that it was September that they were going to start doing things. That's what I asked. The conversation I had with Gottlieb.
Go ahead, Commissioner Lockett.
One question for Rip. You got me?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if they put a new soldiers home on the place across the street for the airmen residents and turn the new old soldiers VA hospital into a rehab center?
Well, they have the property at Soldiers Home is actually government property.
Federal property, and the VA is
and they have at one time talked about the lower end off of Michigan Avenue is to turn it over and do something else with it, but I wasn't sure exactly what they were going to do. But that's still on a plate. That could be a good possibility.
60 years old, that VA hospital is outdated. You need a new one across the street and turn a rehab because all the sick people we have in Washington, D.C., taking them out the hospital and put them in a rehab center.
Oh, so you can serve on that committee with me to unlock it.
I'm just putting it in.
And just remember, just remember whatever ideas y'all come up with. Now that's my SMD. So
that's right. I'm sorry, Commissioner. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's my
SMD. You'll be involved. You're a legionnaire.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Yeah, and then it borders Commissioner Holloway's.
That's right.
Yeah. So and the one thing I do know, the latest on the development, they were looking at there. We've been fighting that area for a long time.
Oh yeah.
At one time, they was trying to dump the bus depot on us.
Yeah.
We fought that off. The soldiers on the retirement home is looking at doing some upgrades and some development. And they are looking hopefully to get some developers, that would be interested in sort of purchasing that land. Well, not purchasing it, but at least getting a lease on that land. They had a proposal out at one point, and I'm not sure what the final result was, but then we got into a situation where they had taken our ability as ANC and the government's limited the DC government's involvement in that process. And so I sort of reached out to Congresswoman Norton and to the Office of Planning to try to get some clarification on that process and how it would go going forward. But I see that you guys are interested, and so we all as veterans can sort of work together to make sure that whatever happens over there, it is something that the
that'd be the best thing that happened to the veterans in Washington, D.C. who've not received anything. And the only plaque I got was from Mayor Washington. You know how many years ago that was?
Well, we're working on changing some of that, but we got so that if we got soldiers in the retirement home from Ward 4 doing the redistricting, if it's a possibility, it might go back to Ward 4 with this upcoming redistricting.
That's
why we're trying to make sure ANCs are involved so that they don't take Ward 5 away from us.
That's right.
We don't want any parts of Ward 5. We can gain some other, but not take away from Ward 5.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to, Rip. It's part of one of the areas I know that they kind of want to tamper with. But anything else? It's almost 8 o'clock. So
good night.
We're finishing up in less than an hour. All right, Father, this is the kind of commission we are. We have we take care of business, but we like to have fun as well. So we look forward to you. You're muted if you was trying to say something. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah, Ronnie's just being nice, Father, because you knew to put it. Wait to that. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Safe
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Thanks. I'll get the